Good day, dear listener, and you are welcome back to the tutorial series on setting up the EduPortal software for your school. So in previous lessons, we've been able to successfully complete a number of setups, like setting up the session configuration, activating the current term, setting up terms, classes, adding students, teachers, and so on and so forth. And if you check here, we've been able to add up to 51 students. That is 3 students in primary 1A and we have 48 students in primary 1B. So in today's lesson, we will be continuing from there. So in today's lesson, we want to set up the grade settings. We want to work with the grades and remark settings. So to do that, you simply come to the sidebar and you click on grade settings. So this is where we get to set up, discuss how do we want the students to be accessed based on. So do we want the students to be accessed based on a number of CA and one exam? Let's say 2 CA, that's continuous assessment, and 1 exams, or we just want 1 CA, 1 exam. So this is where we get to do that. So here, score distribution name. So here we can make the score distribution name descriptive. So here we can say 1 CA. This is just for the purpose of this. We can say 1 CA, 1 exam. So number of exam, as we have described it here, is 1 exam. Number of continuous assessment, we say 1. Then what session is this for? 2024, 2025, and we can save that here. If we want to access them for various classes and various terms, if we want them to have different score distribution, so we can set as many as we want here. So here you can see we have 1 CA, 1 exam. Here we can say 2 CA, for instance, and 2 and 1 exam. So number of exams 1, number of continuous assessment we already said is 2. So what session? We select the session and we save changes. Always remember to save changes. So you can add as many score distribution as you want. So here we have 2 score distributions, but that is not all. So to complete this, we simply click on the action button, and here you can see we have the option to either edit or delete any of these, and we can also set the mark distribution, which is what we want to do. So for this score distribution, 1 CA, 1 exam, we want to set up the mark distribution. So we click on mark distribution. And having loaded, remember what we are working with is 1 CA, 1 exam. So here the CA name is, let's just say first CA. This is for 1 CA, 1 exam. Let me make this small letter. So let's say first CA. And the CA score, remember we are working with just 1 CA, so we just say first CA, or you call it anything. So we want, remember it's over 100, so for the CA, let's say we want the CA to be 60 and exams 40. So for the exam, we simply call it exams, and let's say exam, we can say 40, or we can say this is 50, anyhow you want the score distribution. Just make sure that everything on this column sums up to 100, so we can then save these changes we have made. This is for 1 CA, 1 exams. 1 CA, 1 exam. So we come back to the score distribution. Remember we created 2 score distributions. So we have 2CA, 1 exam. So we click on the action button and also select mark distribution so that we can specify distribution. So now, since we have 2CA, you can see we have option to fill for 2CA. So here we can as well say first CA, and here we can say second CA. And for the CA scores, let's say we want this CA to be over 60. So let's assume we want first CA to be over 25, or let's make this a round figure. Let's say we want first CA to be over 20, and we want second CA to be over 20 as well, meaning we want the total CA to be over 40. So first CA over 20, second CA over 20, which gives us a total of 40 for the continuous assessment. And for the exam, we can say exam will now be over 60. Or if we want the exam to be over 40, that means the CAs will have to change to 30, 30, which will give us a total of 100. And once we are okay with this setup, we simply click on save. And upon saving, it brings us to the mark distribution, where we can view the mark distribution we have set up. Ignore this first tree. I already had this first tree before now. So this is what we added. We just added these two, and we will be working with these two that we just made. So we can always come here to edit this by simply clicking on the action button. Now we are done with the grade settings. Next thing we want to do is the remark settings. See you in the next lesson. Thank you very much.